Something just happened in Missouri that I think is worthy of spotlighting. The Republicans in the Senate there just passed a new anti-LGBT bill, and it did a couple of things. It put a constitutional amendment on the ballot either in August or November that would do two things. First, it would prohibit the state from punishing religious groups that refuse to perform wedding ceremonies for same-sex couples. It would also prevent the state from punishing private individuals and businesses for refusing wedding services to same-sex couples. Now, you might think, well, don't a lot of states down there already do that? That's true, and bear in mind that both of those things are already true specifically in most of Missouri. So why is it that they would be putting something on the ballot to make a constitutional amendment for something that is already the case? Well, it's because of the permanence of a constitutional amendment. The bill would enshrine the legality of some forms of anti-LGBTQ discrimination into the state constitution. So if legislators did pass a civil rights law that protects gay people from discrimination later on, the amendment could let individuals and groups cite their religious beliefs to continue discriminating anyway. And by the way, we've seen this in other issue areas where they had laws that made certain things illegal, but as they saw the social winds changing, they knew that they needed to do what they could while they still had a majority to make it as hard to change in the future as possible. So even if you think in a couple of years in Missouri that these LGBT protections might be developed, well, if you get it in as a constitutional amendment, then that buys you another decade or two of bigotry. And that seems to be what they're trying to do there. Now, thankfully, the Democrats in the Senate did what they could to try to stop this. They filibustered for 39 hours straight, but were eventually defeated because they are the minority there. So they tried, which is what we at the Young Turks want them to do, especially when it comes to protecting the fundamental rights of minority groups. But that's not why this story is the focus of a final judgment. It's that as much as we can, with good reason, get very focused on the presidential race and breaking down the polls and trying to figure out what's going to happen in individual states, and Hillary said this and Trump did that, we can't be distracted from also understanding and recognizing the significance of all of the other elections that are going on, whether it's in the Senate or in the House, or even down to the level of the state Senate of Missouri. And the Democratic Party, unfortunately, has been too lax in doing what Howard Dean did years ago, having a 50-state strategy, caring about state legislatures, because as important as the presidency is, and it's important in a lot of ways, there are thousands and thousands of bills that get passed in these state legislatures every year. And those affect people's lives in significant, fundamental ways, even if in the vast majority of cases, we'll never see those results. We're focusing and spotlighting one today, but you know that throughout the country there are many more today and there will be tomorrow. So we have to be vigilant, even if Donald Trump is a massive distraction. And that's my final judgment.